Welcome to a live Shaw Sports presentation.
Welcome to the 2018 belairdirect BC Curling Championships. We're in beautiful Parksville, British Columbia. I'm your ringside reporter, Emily Moyes, and these two are the brains behind the operation, our commentators, Melissa Saligo and Will Sutton. We're about to see the 3-4 playoff match. This is Montgomery versus Joanisse. Let's talk a little bit about Team Montgomery.
Well, yeah, Team Montgomery's a new team this year. Jason Montgomery's in his first year back after taking a year off. They have gotten to the final here before. Well, 3 members of the team, Will, Miles and Jason, have got there before, but this will be Cam DeYoung's first playoff game at the men's provincial. The team's been at the top of the statistics all week, so we expect to see a strong performance, but it'll be key at the 3rd position to see Cameron come out and play well.
Wonderful, and let's talk a little bit about Team Joanisse.
Well, Team Joanisse has been together for 4 years. They've been in the on the BC Championship podium 7 times. We expect to see some good play from them today. However, Dean Joanisse didn't post the best numbers that we've seen all week from him. It's a little lower than we expect, but the good news is the last 2 games he's played, the C qualifying games, he played a lot better, and we expect those numbers to continue today. So look out for Team Joanisse.
Maybe he was saving it up for the weekend.
Absolutely.
We're going to find out, and here come the curlers now.
And here we go, the 2018 belairdirect men's 3-4 game. Will, it looks to be a good one. Team Joanisse, Team Montgomery. What do we expect?
These are two teams that know each other very well. I expect to see a lot of Roxon play tonight. Both skips very comfortable with that style of play.
And they have a lot of games under their belt so far. They both coming through the C qualifiers. 5-2 for Team Montgomery, 4-2 for Team Joanisse. They've seen the ice, they know what it does.
Absolutely. Both these teams at the top of the statistics all week, number 1 and 2.
Wow. I expect that we'll see a lot of Roxon play, as you say. Probably off the get-go, I imagine, the first end. There's some Team Joanisse fans. Looking forward to a great game. We'll listen in as the teams are introduced.
Welcome to Parksville and the 2018 Bel Air BC Men's Curling Championship, the Page 3-4 playoff. Please join us in welcoming the teams. From the Golden Ear Switcher Club, Team Joanisse, Coach Brad Curry, Fifth, Steve Petrick, Lead, John Cullen, Second, Jay Wakefield, Third, Paul Cheka, and fifth, Team Joanisse. And from the Victoria Curling Club, Team Montgomery. Lead, Will Duggan. Second, Miles Craig. Third, Cameron DeYoung. And fifth, Jason Montgomery. Good curling, the ice is yours.
Well, as the teams get ready here, we'll again set the stage for what we're about to see in this 3-4 game. This is what we're following from today's game this morning in the 1-2 games, Cotter versus Giel.
This was the first end, a nice double for 3 by Jim Cotter. Really set the tone in this one. 3-0 right off the bat. Followed by an uncharacteristic flash from Sean Giel to give a steal of 1 in a 4-0 game.
And then pretty much we saw double after double after double from Jim Cotter. So a blank there for Sean Giel in the third. A double for Jim Cotter, followed by another blank attempt. And made by Sean Giel.
Nice run back from Sean here, just for hoping to get 2. Managed to score 1 out of it.
And I think we get another double here, if I'm not mistaken, and a run back double for Jim Cotter again. They played phenomenal this afternoon. And in the 7th, he scores a deuce and takes a commanding lead.
And a nice double for the win for Jim Cotter to get his spot in the final tomorrow at 4 p.m.
And that was enough for Sean Giel. So we'll see Jim Cotter's team in the final tomorrow afternoon. And in the morning game, the semifinal, we'll see Sean Giel. And he will be playing one of these two teams.
Leading things off, we've got John Cullen.
Line's good.
Some of you might know John as a comedian or in his routine Magical Question Fun Time through Curling Canada. He's a funny man here in the curling, in the BC curling world.
Line's good. Line's really good. Line's good.
So we talked about the ice in the earlier game today, Will, about it running about 15 seconds from hog to hog and curling anywhere from 4.5 to 5 feet, about that. But the key to what we saw and the differences between the two teams earlier is that you have to be positive in your rotation.
Whoa.
We did see some rocks that kind of went a little off target, perhaps, just simply because we didn't feel they had enough rotation.
Rotation really does seem to be key on this ice, and a couple times it seemed to get caught in that previous draw. So it looks like both teams have actually elected to run things up and down the east for the first end here.
I hate when we guess wrong.
Yep. Clean. Heavy clean. Heavy.
All week we've seen both of these teams very comfortable with rocks in play. But again, this is a 3-4 game, a sudden death game. The winner going on till tomorrow and the loser unfortunately going home. So maybe just get some nerves out and get a feel for the ice, make sure things haven't changed.
Both teams took a bit of a different route in qualifying for this event. Team Joanisse through the CTRS points and Team Montgomery through the regional playdown system.
Yep.
Team Joanisse also plays a bit more on the tour. Montgomery spends a bit more time at home training, playing local events, only playing in one World Curling Tour event this year that they won in the Abbotsford Curling Club.
Yeah, and I think Dean probably played maybe about 5 events on tour. They got a 2nd place finish at the Golden Ears Cash and a couple of 4th or 5th place finishes, and then 2 that they didn't qualify. So lots of experience there. And again, this team's been together for 4 years, so they know each other very, very well. This is Jay Wakefield, a 2nd for Team Joanisse.
Control. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Roll it over. That's good.
Nice shot there by Miles Craig.
Miles, Jason, and Will have actually been curling together since juniors.
Wow.
Easy then, easy. Paul? No, sorry, John.
John just trying to get a little curl out of that rock. So with that hit and roll more to a corner rather to center, Jason Montgomery is going to make an attempt to come around it. This is Miles Craig's 2nd stone here in the first end. They do have hammer by virtue of a draw to the button before the game started. With the 2C qualifiers, there wasn't one team that finished above the other, so they actually draw to the button for hammer.
Where are you? Whoa.
That one seemed to curl quite a bit on them,
more
Will.
curl than expected.
Yeah.
You want to go center guard or you want to just come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in. Well, let's stay in the forefront though. You know what I mean?
So Dean's just electing to split the rings here, hopefully get a force this way.
Line's good.
Yeah, he talked about throwing a corner guard, but that wasn't their game plan for this end. Obviously with...
I think he was talking about a center, maybe.
Or center guard, sorry,
no
center
worries,
guard.
no worries.
You know, they're not. Their goal isn't to steal this end; it's just to force.
Line's good. Have a look, have a look, have a look. Line's good, have a look.
We're there, Paul, we're there. Nice lead, bud.
Nice shot.
Go normal.
Looks like Jason's just going to try to hit and stick on the nose for now. Maybe play a hit and roll a little later once those rocks get moved up in the house a bit. Still could be an opportunity to use that corner guard later in the end.
Yep. Gotta go. Yep. Very hard. Yep. 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 Okay. Little tight.
So we've seen a couple overcurls so far by Team Montgomery, so we'll keep an eye on that just to see if maybe the ice is curling a little more, they aren't getting out to the broom, or maybe Jason just needs to be a little bit more generous with the ice as well.
Nice chance for Paul to throw the same shot in a row here.
Line's good. Different track. It's a fresh track. It's a fresh track.
When you hear Dean talking about the fresh track there, he's just letting his sweepers know that that rock's traveling down a path that they haven't thrown a rock yet. Just letting them know they might need to sweep it a little more than the previous one if the weight's the same.
And that's such good communication and good learning for every member of that team. Obviously, it was just a little different path that came through. It was only a difference probably of 4 or 5 inches, but it was a completely different path that the rock went on. So really good opportunity there to learn the different paths.
Whoa. That's good.
Mission accomplished there, sticking around.
Yeah. I think that's probably minimum for right now. Okay. You roll in a hair, but.
So Dean Joanisse just looking to hit and stick or hit and roll a little bit. Key here is to lie 2.
If he doesn't get the roll, you might see Monty just elect to draw.
Yeah, with those 2 rocks being in the 12-foot, definitely a possibility.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Little bit? Yeah. Whoa. Easy. Clean. Clean it. Clean it. Yep. Whoa.
Nice shot by Dean. Nice control weight.
Yeah. Good. Hard. Yeah.
And I think maybe if it wasn't the first end, Will, that Jason might elect to actually come around that, as you said. But just because I think it's the first end, he wants to be a little bit more careful. You know, obviously doesn't want to get forced, but, you know, you don't want to take too many chances so far in the first.
Absolutely, drawing against 3 can be not the ideal thing in the first end of a game.
I have to say, I almost said Monty as well, because that is what we call him. It's his nickname.
I'll do my best to get Jason down throughout the rest of the broadcast.
I'm not sure if we've ever called him Jason.
No.
So no hesitation there by Dean Joanisse. Jason really wanted to hit and stick there because this is exactly what Dean was hoping for with a rollout. He's now going to be able to draw behind that corner and put a lot of pressure on Jason to make his last one a draw, likely against 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Just top 4 depth, guys. Yeah. Shade more.
It's about the same ice, I think, that Jason took on their draw around the corner. So we'll see how this one reacts.
Let it run. Easy. Easy. Looks like lots to me. Okay. Jay. Under him. Under him. Jay.
14:61 on the hog-to-hog time here.
So that's got lots of weight.
Hard, Jay. Hard. That's good. That's good there.
One of the things you pointed out earlier, Will, and I'll just reiterate it, is you have to be really careful on this kind of ice. It's so quick and there's lots of curl, but you can't jump them. If you jump them, they will run straight and you'll lose the line. You want to be able to be on-off it throughout the course of the stone's path until the break point, at which time you want to manage it at that point.
Oh, okay.
And we saw the boys maybe jump on that one right away out of Dean's hand.
Yeah, the teams that have been successful this week have been really patient before sweeping those rocks, waiting as long as possible to sweep those rocks and drag them in there after they pass the break point.
Exactly. So this is about maybe 2-3 inches more ice than Dean just took. So a little bit different path.
No, then. No backing.
I need this one to slow down.
Good eye from the front end there.
Great shot. Nice job by Jason Montgomery. Pressure shot in that first end. Draw against 2. So that's 1 on the board for Team Montgomery after 1. This is the BC men's 3-4 game. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the 2018 BC men's. Got Dean Joanisse just drawing in here to the back 8 foot, forcing Monty to draw the top 4.
And he makes no mistake. Thought he was a little bit different path, a little bit extra weight, but he manages to get his single point. And he's first on the board here in the 3-4 game in Parksville, British Columbia.
Jason's asked for this first one to be in the top 8 to top 4 foot. Just coming a little deep.
So because that one slipped to the behind the tee line back button, Dean Joanisse and his team asking John Collin to throw a corner guard.
And really, that first end would be mission accomplished. Team Joanisse, they got the force.
For sure.
Got a pretty easy force there without taking a lot of risk.
Go tight.
Yeah.
Will Duggan, lead for Team Montgomery.
Line's good. Whoa, early. Whoa. Whoa. Line's good. Oh. Make sure it's tight. We're over curling now. Oh, we're definitely over curling.
This team trains out of the Victoria Curling Center.
I don't mind taking that and coming in here. Yeah. Straight in's okay too. Yeah.
Team Joanisse is out of the Golden Ears Winter Club in Maple Ridge.
So a bit of an overcurl there for Team Montgomery. This gives John Collin an opportunity here to come around the other way.
Line's good. Easy. Jake. Jake.
The rotation on that rock, Melissa, was a lot more positive than what we've seen, and just a little bit less curl.
I agree, and I think the Joanisse guys were just sweeping that for weight. It was a little bit light, but it hung because they did have to go on it early, so it did actually tick the left corner guard there. So great opportunity here for Miles Craig and Team Montgomery to get another one in there.
Whoa.
This rock has nice handle too.
Yeah, you see the positive rotation, and that's what we've been referring to this game and last game as well, is that you need the rotation on this kind of ice surface. But again, quite a bit of a straight spot. Second one that hit there.
Didn't quite go to school on the previous one.
All right, for now, we just come in here. Okay. You want any more out here?
So Dean Joanisse electing to try and draw one in there. That one's still sitting back button. It's actually favorable to Team Joanisse right now.
Little tight, little tight. Hey, room. Looks heavy. Looks heavy. Looks heavy, guys. It's really tracking. Not too bad. Looks like it's back line. Yeah. It's not back line. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, let it sit. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, that's good. Nice weight.
So nice weight. Never quite got the curl they were looking for. Not sure if Jason can get to the inside here or not.
Yeah, I mean, if you tap it a foot's good, but let him sweep it.
So that's about the third rock now. We've seen the exact same path. That's just hung a little longer. Again, if you go early on it, that could happen. So great opportunity here now for Miles.
Gotta go.
Got to give it to your brushers on this kind of spot, though, Will. You can't throw it there
Whoa.
yourself.
Yep.
I like how Monty cued Miles for that there.
Exactly.
That was well said.
Cam. Cam. Yep. Yep. Shot.
What a great shot, Miles Craig.
What do you got of that?
Quarter to a third.
Okay. Did you know it's beautiful? Sort of. That'd be great. Good. Clip this one first. You might get that one to go there.
So the situation in the house is pretty good for Team Joanisse. So they're just looking to get rid of those center guards that are a bit of a problem right now. Jay Wakefield.
Easy. Up. Clean. Clean. Whoa, 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 whoa. That boy.
Nice shot by Jay Wakefield. Totally cleans up the front of the rings there. So Jason Montgomery is going to have to be a little bit careful here. They have a couple rocks, but they have a couple opposition stones, and they don't have hammer here. So great shot by Jay by clearing everything out of the way there and exposing all the rocks in the house.
Just throw control.
And Jason totally being aware of that exact fact. He's not going to leave too many Joanisse stones in the rings.
Yeah, it sounds like he's playing a control weight. Hopefully going to keep this shooter in the rings over there somewhere.
Yep. Hard. Yep. Hey. Hard. 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 Go, 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 go.
A little bit fortunate there.
Yeah, a little bit of lucky break there for Cam DeYoung.
Yeah. Just Tim.
We watch this rock come down. He hits the stone, almost over curls, jams it, but there was luckily that red one to jam the blue one again. So looks like they're sitting 2 and maybe 4th shot.
Tim, clean early.
This is Paul Cheka.
Easy. Easy. Clean. Clean. Yep. Whoa. 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 Roll. Yep. Yep. That's good. That's good. That's good.
What great control weight, hey, Will?
Yeah, great control weight. Nice hit and roll here from Paul.
I think probably just try and rip it.
I think Paul's brought his own cheering squad here. Crowd went wild.
Throw it up.
So make the pick here. It should leave Montgomery sitting 2.
Yep. 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 Hard.
What a great shot. Doubles out the 2 red Joanisse stones. Nice throw by Cam.
Hard to get here, I think. Yeah.
Guys were on it the whole way and just got enough of it to clip the one at the back as well.
Nice bounce back after an over curl.
Come here. I like that.
Soft, a little tight. But some of the curls.
Why don't you like that?
That didn't go crazy. Really.
Pretty short run. Well.
I like the head and roll back.
Okay. Yeah. Tim.
So you heard Dean, he really wanted the team to throw the outturn come around Will around the top rock that's sitting top 12. But the guys didn't like it because it was a short run, which is very true. It's a short, maybe couple foot run for Team Montgomery to make. So they've elected to play the hit and roll and try and get a rock fully buried behind that corner guard. And unfortunately, he's going to hit and roll out.
I like the call there. That rock top 12 in the center line could be a problem with last rock to try to bring play to the wings.
And if you leave Montgomery a short run, he would be line 3 at that point if he makes it. So I think that was a pretty good choice of decision that the guys kind of helped Dean make.
So Jason's just trying to split the house here.
Earning the hammer in the first end, he would love to force Team Joanisse to take one here in 2. The goal here is to get some draw weight for Jason, but also to split the rings, keep those rocks as far apart as possible.
Are they even, or where are they? Go, 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 go. What'd you get on that?
So a chance here. A couple options. You could throw the double. Get yourself the blank that way.
Or the hit and roll, I guess. Got to make a perfect hit and roll, though, to...
Oh, yeah, let's play the double, but if it comes up a bit.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I think this will move a little on us, eh? Yeah.
So you heard the decision. They're going to play the double, and if it does curl a little bit too much, they'll play the hit and roll as option B.
Yeah, the key here is just not throwing a weight that doesn't allow you to do both those things.
Exactly. I'm not sure what weight he called. I didn't quite hear.
Right, middle of the rock's good. It's going to curl. Even if we know it's not terrible. Just don't want to roll out. Huh?
Yeah.
Close. Yep. Hard! Whoa! Hard!
What an awesome shot. Dean Joanisse double. Puts the blank alive here. He threw that great, took a little extra. He knew it was going to curl on him, and it curled just the right amount. Nice call by Paul
I think
Cheka.
just control. I think it'll run here a bit now.
Just can't thank our ice guys, Dane Gagnon and Timmy K, because I can't say his last name, for all the great work they've done on these ice conditions this week here in Parksville.
Our officiating crew, led by Mark Hoffman, has also been top-notch. It was over 200 volunteers to put on the belairdirect BC Men's Championships this year here in Parksville, and we'd like to recognize every one of them as well for the contributions they've made.
Yep.
Yeah, co-chairs Penny Shantz and Terry Miller have done a phenomenal job here. Parksville is such a fantastic place to host.
Yeah, the athletes love it.
Nice shot by Jason Montgomery. So blank opportunity here for Dean Joanisse in the second end of the belairdirect 3-4 game.
Probably a hair more. Yeah.
Job well done. So blank on the board. Still 1-0 Jason Montgomery over Dean Joanisse after 2 ends of play here at the 2018 belairdirect 3-4 BC Championship game.
A little mic repair there for Dean.
We'll be right back.
That has to be the most Canadian thing I've ever seen.
Well, maybe if he was also eating a poutine.
Huh? And drinking maple syrup.
And he's also a curler.
Guys, you know I've never actually been curling before.
And you call yourself a Canadian?
I'm sorry.
There's more than 1,000 curling facilities in Canada. Be a good Canadian and find one near you today.
Back. A great double attempt, a double by Cam DeYoung here, got the force on. However, Dean made no mistake on his double attempt, leading to a blank end here in the second. So it's 1-0 Montgomery without last rock going into the third end of the game here. It's just slipped a little deep. That guard attempt. Actually didn't see the call. They might have called it top four. I wasn't actually sure.
I like what you said. I think they called it short.
Line's good.
Either way, Dean's calling the corner guard here.
Yeah, this is the MO for Dean Joanisse. He's not afraid to have rocks in play. With Hammer here, he'd like to try and score his deuce.
You see Dean working really hard to get that rock off the 4-foot line. Trying to get
Just try and tap it. Yeah, but then we leave the guard up, right?
Makes a lot of sense to have your sweeper, your skip sometimes come out to finish a rock, because if guys have been going end to end and they're getting a little tired, you might as well have a fresh person in there sweeping that rock for direction at the end.
Exactly, and that's one of the systems that Team Joanisse has done, I think, for the last couple of years, is that he's such a strong sweeper, and he will just come out and give one of his guys a break, and it's been a system that has been working for them from the get-go.
Whoa, no.
So Team Montgomery looking to tap their blue stone straight back. This one's not going to curl enough, so they're going to end up splitting their stones. Actually provides a bit of a block there so that Team Joanisse right now can't get around that corner guard. You have to go around deeper now.
John, I think John just asked me frozen top 12.
Line's pretty good. Pretty good. I like the line. Line's getting tight.
Oh, no, line's good.
Line's getting tight.
Line's good.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Has to curl.
No, it doesn't. Line's good. The weight's here, the line's good.
Whoa.
Sliding really good.
Just a slight bump there, maybe a
I think just throw like
couple
four.
inches too much weight. He really wanted to freeze that and not bump and roll off. It gives Team Montgomery an opportunity now to hit and roll behind.
Yeah.
Nose might be best. With a stagger in those could be trouble.
Hard. Hurry. Hurry.
Hard.
All the way.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard.
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 Good sweep.
Shot for Miles.
Yeah, maybe a little bit down weight than I think he was expecting. Really nice control weight, but a little less, and it did curl quite a bit.
Throw for top 12.
But still, job well done.
I believe Miles is the only lefty out there today.
Yes, I believe so. This is Jay Wakefield.
Line's good.
It's good. 6.
Yes. Easy. Right to it right now. Line's good. Easy then, easy. Whoa, for tapping. Whoa. Whoa.
Ryan.
Line's good. Just tap it like a couple inches. We're there. It's doing that on its own.
This has a little bit better line than John's shot. Gets to the face of it and just taps it a couple of inches. Really great shot.
So you can see how comfortable Team Joanisse is with opposition rocks in play.
I guess you could do this.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that better.
Just hit it like a hair high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T-line.
Could peel that corner guard too.
That's what I was thinking actually, Will, is the only rock that's probably causing you some trouble right now is the corner guard without Hammer here.
This early part in the end.
But they've elected to play the tap.
Yep.
They want to try and get some
Hard
distance
early.
between those two stones.
Whoa. Yep. Close. Oh, it's back 8. Whoa. No.
Called T-line weight, but it looks like it's back 8, a little extra. I'd love to get to the nose of that stone.
Yep, hard one. Okay.
Not the result they were looking for.
Hit and roll this one to freeze onto this. Yeah, I like this though. Yeah, just freeze pocket. Pretty much same weight, bud.
So right now, Dean's trying to make it very difficult to remove any red rocks from play, but to do that, you are leaving a lot of the opposition rocks.
Line's
in
a
play.
little tight.
Yeah, and they did talk about maybe trying to remove one of the blue ones and roll to a freeze position.
You got the weight.
You have to think by playing this freeze now and not moving any of those 3 blue stones, it will take a couple of rocks to get rid of them. So they're just trying to set themselves up here for a potential multi-point end.
Yeah, with no center guards up, he's pretty comfortable right now. Nice shot from Jay.
Really great shot. You can see Jason thinking that he's not feeling very comfortable himself with those red stones in front of the blues.
You gotta move one of these.
Like back line.
So Jason's just going to try to change the angles here a bit, make him a little
Even
better
just
for
like
Team
on
Montgomery.
back fours, man. You gotta move with a foot, right? Yeah, throw back four.
It's pretty much impossible to throw hit weight at that red stone and try and remove it from play unless you really pick it thinly.
Exactly. And the other one's fully buried because
Exactly.
the corner guard was left up.
So they have no choice here, as you pointed
What do you
out,
got?
Will, is try and change the angles so that they're a little bit more in your favor.
Yep, keep going. Hurry. Yep, all the way. Hard. Hard.
Need some carrying weight here. Try and move these stones apart. This one's over curling.
Okay, fine.
I think the good news is for that, the shooter actually is out counting the other red stone, so that's probably a little bit of a bonus for them right now.
Okay. Can't roll across the top, so throw Liz. Okay. Outturn. Yeah, outturn. This will run fairly straight, but I think it'll curl a smidge at the end. Okay. You like that, Broom? Yeah.
So they're throwing the outturn double and roll, it looks like.
No. Clean. No, no. Jay. Hard, Jay.
So Jay was on that rock at the end trying to make it move a little bit more. It was a little bit wide, so he was sweeping that to get it to move.
So Paul might have been a little bit full right out of his hand. They were kind of on off at Jay, as you say, trying to get it to curl. The important thing is they did get the double, but they didn't leave their rock in the greatest position. It's about 5th shot right now.
It's just, if you're there, it's like
Both
a
of these
natural
teams
triple.
have so much respect for their abilities to make doubles
knows
and
that,
triples that they're
you'll have
really
the double
careful here.
Exactly, they're trying to find the best place
I think
to
this
hit
knows.
and roll.
Or a little flop. Throw a board.
I kind of like the hit and flop. It takes away from any potential triple at this point. And that's exactly what you talked about, respect. You know that Team Joanisse does have the ability to throw the high hard ones and make some doubles and triples, as does Team Montgomery. So trying to find a place to hide this blue stone.
Miles. That's good.
This is fairly thin, but I like playing it.
What about the other two?
Team Montgomery
just
sitting
wire
3 at
triple
the
for 'em.
moment. 4th shot belonging to Joanisse, and it looks like 5th is Montgomery.
Really? Unless we do this.
Yeah, that's not bad. I guess there'll be shots still, but
That's fine. Yeah. Want to throw chill or you want to throw fridge?
Couple options here for Team Joanisse. They looked at the double on the 2 that are sitting in the top 8
Throw
foot.
chill. If it over curls a little bit, we can take it to there too.
He also looked at the other double, the two that are in line at the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at it. And now they're looking at maybe a potential hit and roll behind that red stone that's top 12, fifth shot. So quite a few options here for sure.
Yep. Yes. Clean.
And makes the double. What a fabulous shot. What a great shot by Paul Cheka. That really puts a lot more pressure on Team Montgomery now. Gets the hit and roll, gets the double. Doesn't roll all the way out of the rings, but right now it's irrelevant because it's about fifth or sixth shot.
How far apart are they?
Not very.
Huh?
Like 4 inches.
As Jason can try and make the double on the left side and maybe roll his shooter
Yeah.
over, that's an option.
Like, it doesn't go that easy, really. You got to kind of throw it, right?
I think to make those two
Yeah.
red go, your
As long as
shooter
it's
might be
supposed
going
to
into
here.
your own rock over there.
I think you're right. And that red one on the right-hand side is completely buried, but I'm not sure he has
I'll be
any.
firm,
He's got to limit some damage here, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to throw firm, hit half a rock,
I don't think
and
it's going
hopefully
very
roll
far.
that thing over a little bit.
Like half a rock. I'm not even sure if it's going anywhere.
He says it might not be going anywhere, but the key is he does have a blue one that's out-counting the top one, or will be out-counting the top one if he gets it to go a little bit, even if it doesn't go out of the rings. So really trying to limit the damage here. He knows that Dean Joanisse is coming up and he can throw some pretty good heat to make things happen. But they're really close together, these two stones. You gotta hit it fairly thin.
Close.
Oh, yep.
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 Hard.
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 Nice shot from Jason.
That is a really good shot. They stay for first and second.
It doesn't look like the double will be there, but we'll see the angle here.
He wasn't too sure of the result of this one, but it actually ends up being a great shot. Hits about half to three quarters, gets them both going, but most importantly, he's still lying two at the end of that. And as you say, I'm not sure there's enough room to get on the inside to play the double.
You got to hit like a third of that rock, right? Yeah. There's not really a third hit to hit.
Thanks, Dean, for clarifying for us because we couldn't quite see it.
Yeah, you don't want to roll over top either, right?
I don't think we can roll over across the top with Tim.
Even just rolling it here is really good.
Yeah. So what do you want? Just Tim then?
I think so.
Both these skips have been playing really well, Melissa, these last three
Yeah,
draws.
just move
Both
this to
in
here.
the mid-80
Yeah,
percentages.
sure.
Making lots of shots in the last half of the triple knockout here.
Center line then? Just Tim?
Yeah.
So for Dean Joanisse, he doesn't want to overthrow this one. He's trying to get some movement on it. He wants to hit the inside of that blue stone top 8. Preferably try and knock the other one out, but if not, hit and roll is really good too to set up yourself for a deuce.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! Jay!
Jay, come on!
And that one went nowhere.
In case you're trying to follow along the weights, the Tim weight is a bit of a control weight, and then there'll be fridge and chill as well. Those are normal and peel, I think.
I believe you. So didn't get much movement on that one at all. So Jason just having a look here to see if he can nose it and be second shot, which is very key.
That didn't do a whole lot for him. Yeah, control.
If not, maybe he could roll away. The key is not to set up a double.
I think nose.
Looks like he feels he can nose it.
I mean, I think we'll be second shot. If we're not, I think he's probably not hit on the outside. It's pretty tough for two. I mean, if we roll a foot, it's pretty bad.
Looking for the nose here.
Yep, hard. Hard.
Yep.
Do it hard.
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 Oh. Good.
I think he got the result he was looking for sure. He's line 2. Dean Joanisse, no option here but to be forced. He's going to draw to the 8-foot for his single point.
Sliding good, eh?
I don't think Team Montgomery was completely comfortable that end, but happy getting a force out of that. But it was a little bit nerve-wracking there, I think, with all those opposite rocks in the rings.
I agree. Team Joanisse was in some great positioning there. So here we go, Dean Joanisse throwing a draw to the 8-foot for his single point, third end.
I think you're fine. Holding its line good.
Yeah, holding its line. Keep it going, guys.
These guys are trying to drag it pillar to post, and it looks good. Nice brush by the front end of Team Joanisse. That's 1 on the board. For Dean Joanisse and his team from Maple Ridge, we have a score of 1-1 after 3, and we will be right back at the belairdirect 2018 BC Men's.
Curling, the game with the ice and the rocks and the sweeping and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
We're back at the 2018 BC Men's Curling Championships. Jason Montgomery making the nose hit there to get the force. Dean here with an out-turn draw. Team effort to get this one right into the top of the 4-foot to score 1. 1-all here, heading to the third end. Montgomery with the hammer. And there you see Dean helping his team out sweeping again.
Dean Joanisse and his team really tried to get some things going there, and as you said, it got a little bit stressful maybe for Jason Montgomery and his team, but some fabulous shots by Cam and Miles, and Jason himself managed to force Dean Joanisse to a single. So here we go in the fourth end, pardon me. Team Montgomery with hammer, 1-1.
It looks like a lot right now.
So Montgomery electing to go around the center guard. Some teams elect to throw a corner guard in these situations.
Line's perfect. Line's good for top 8.
Great placement from Will Duggan.
Really nice shot from Will.
Really important early in the ends for these leads to keep their rocks in that top 12 to top 8-foot range, not come too deep too soon, especially if you have hammer.
Exactly. So John Cullen looking to corner freeze to this one just thrown by Will.
Finish it.
Nice weight, nice shot.
Yep, picking. Whoa. Miles.
So it sounds like that one just picked out of Will's hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were looking to corner freeze their blue one that was in the rings and comes up quite a bit short, as you say, picked. So it gives Dean Joanisse an opportunity now to put another stone on this side of the ice and surround that blue stone. Jay Wakefield.
Got room. Lots of it for now.
Do it right now. Might have to go. Yeah, we
Line's
gotta go
fine,
now.
got room.
Gotta go.
Line's good. Yeah, hard. Hard, guys. Well,
This one's really curling, Will. So a couple options here for Jason Montgomery. He could double peel the two guards and try and open up that 4-foot area a little bit. It's pretty crowded right now, but they've elected to throw the come around freeze. They are sitting shot rock at the moment.
Line's good. Line's good, yep. Hard line. Yep. Hard. Yep.
This one's just a little bit light and over curling as well.
It's a couple times we've seen this game, the same mistake made after a previous miss.
here, maybe this is probably still best right here. Yeah, either or.
So if you want to get around the intern side right now, it's pretty much having to go way, way out in a brand new path outside the 12-foot. So the outturn path is the only one that's really available at this moment.
T-line.
So Dean's just coming around to everything here. With the curl you get here, though, this rock can still be in front of the T-line and fully buried.
Line's good. Line's good. Paul.
You don't want this one deep.
Really good, Jay.
That's a nice shot by Jay Wakefield. Right on the button.
Yeah.
So Jason's calling the freeze here. I guess this is a setup shot here.
This is a big shot for Miles Craig.
No,
Don't have a lot of room for error here.
just for weight. Just for weight.
Definitely has the weight. Looks like Blue's shot.
Gotta sit across it. Top four.
Dean's just going to try to freeze across the face of this one and get the angles good for him.
Lots of room.
You heard
Lots
John
of room.
calling 7. That's T-line weight.
Lots of room. It's way out, guys. Way out.
This one's a completely different path.
Yep, yep,
Maybe
yep,
that
yep,
little
yep, yep,
extra
yep.
weight might have just kept him straighter longer.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Not a good result there for Paul Cheka.
Just throw T-line.
So Jason's just asking for Cam to draw one on top there.
Easy. It's sliding a little better here already, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So both sweepers on it early there.
Waiting for this one to make its break again with that little extra weight. It's going to go straight. So that was a great opportunity for Cam DeYoung to make a good shot and not set up anything for Team Joanisse and give them an out, but just with that little extra weight, he may have allowed that to happen.
But that way this one helps us if we don't hit it. Yeah, but this might not go anywhere. He's got the brick, right? Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking this. Right? Like just, yeah.
Dean's ignoring he doesn't have the hammer here. Looking to hit and roll.
Yeah, if he can force Team Montgomery to a single here, he'll be really happy with what's going on right now. You were looking at any other possibility, but I think the hit and roll is really the only option there. That blue rock will be surrounded if he can get a good hit and roll here. I think he was looking for hack weight.
Easy. Hard. Roll jump. Really good ball.
That's a great shot.
Paul did a great job there of involving sweepers in the shot, which hadn't happened for the previous couple shots in that path. So
that's right. That was a good bounce back shot for him. It's a good weight call by John and Jay there. He's looking for hack through to about back line, but by communicating that, he makes a perfect shot. Hit and roll.
I don't know. Nope. Yeah. It's not great if you don't make it good, but it's pretty unlikely you're not going to bury it. I mean, the other thing I was thinking was you could play a run or something, but.
Yeah, but it would be nice to hit it onto the center line side of that red, but you can't, right?
Well, I think, yeah, if you hit it here, right?
So Jason's really got himself into this
like
by not peeling earlier
in
the end, that's for sure. Trying to figure out if there's any way to manufacture a deuce here.
Throw it up. What turn do you want?
So electing to clean things up a little bit here.
Sounds like Cam almost bit it.
Speed wobble.
Not happy with that shot. So they're looking for pretty good weight out of Cam, but unfortunately with that slip, he had to hang on to a little bit longer to recover. Good recovery, though.
It was a solid recovery for
Absolutely.
sure. Got a peel out of it.
So Team Joanisse is looking first off to see if they can try and get one in there to actually score or steal this end, and if not, can they keep the force alive?
Yeah, you'd have to just miss the blue, yeah.
It was easier with the guard, I guess.
Yeah. What do you guys think of this?
I think it's pretty hard.
Well, it's T-line weight with the right ice.
Yeah, if you think it finishes that much.
Even if he leaves it top 8, Melissa, or top 12 on that path.
Yeah, he doesn't have to make it perfect.
Is on,
Absolutely, he doesn't have to make it perfect.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So if he just misses,
you're not going to count it.
I mean, yeah, if we finish it in there, that's great.
Is that too much ice? It's got. Well, that's not going to get by the guard, yeah.
So this is a completely different path. He's taken about probably 8 to 10 inches more ice. So the sweepers will have to be aware that it's a new path.
No, it's just.
But tolerance for sure, Will, is to be on the 8-foot side, the above the tee line side. You don't want to be anywhere above, be behind the tee line.
Back 4 here.
And then I don't think Jason will have much of anything.
Take any less?
I don't think so.
So it sounds like because it's a new path, Dean's thinking back 4 is the weight he's trying to throw, being a new path.
Okay, go then.
Mark the line. Yeah, we're well short.
On the line, two guys. Hard. Just bounce off this. Hard. Yeah, whoa.
So well short, and again, like a new path, they weren't really sure. They threw 15.5, and down the middle, that would have been just perfect.
Do we try this? I mean, does it hurt us if we open it up right now? Yeah. I mean, the only danger is if you did this and you chipped this, right?
So right now it's really hard to remove that shot rock, and Jason's trying to find a way to sit two without leaving a double of some sort or an ability to get rid of both those blue rocks. Karen is first.
What happens if we do this? Does he have this nose double? Close.
These are one of those things, decisions you have to make. Well, you're sitting one right now. I'm not sure if there's a way to get two, but you also don't want to expose yourself to allowing Team Joanisse here to remove your shot stone either, because there's a lot of red still there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so.
And it looks like that intern draw on the other side isn't there because that red guard's just over too far.
I don't think it really hurts us. I don't see how you can get that out.
Yeah, the red guard did roll a little too far.
If you try,
yeah, there's definitely not an intern draw.
Too, right?
Is he just playing tap weight, maybe?
Still okay, a lot?
Yeah, tap on the blue. So the blue one tight to the rings there, just tapping it up onto the blue top 8.
It's a little quicker now, but I think you want to be like positive.
Whoa.
Oh.
Close.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. No.
Want to get to the nose of his blue stone. That's just outside there.
Trying to help a curl here a bit.
Yeah, not going to get there. I'm not sure that helps him very much. It does expose the red stone on the left side, which Dean can now access. However, it looks like the blue would jam on the red one right behind the back button there.
Yeah, I guess if you make it, it might just be a nose double, too.
Well, we need to nose it.
Well, if you nose it, that's okay.
Well, the nose might clip ours, though.
No, I'm saying if you nose, oh yeah, if your shooter goes to here. Yeah, if your shooter goes to here, it's fine.
This is pretty much neutralized with the drag.
Sure. I mean, I think it goes.
Well, it all depends on what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta hit it half a rock.
Well, are we wanting to do this and sit right there, get the double, right? Leave our 3 in a row? Leave their 1 rock there, it's not bad.
It's not bad, yeah.
That's there.
Well, yeah, they're all kind of in a row there.
It does look like you got it.
So Dean thinks that top blue one will be the only blue rock still in the rings here in a moment if he hits the hair high.
You have to be careful hitting it a hair high. I think those ones are pretty even, Will, and I'm not sure it would clip the back of that red one or not. No, it's got a little bit of space. It's pretty close, though.
Okay, what else do we have?
We just guard that blue right now.
Yeah, he has guard right here.
He plays a double.
He probably has nothing to do.
Well, he's gonna tap our guard, probably.
Yeah, totally.
Jay makes a good
I
point.
just think that's
Force
risky.
here is fine.
Force here is great.
It doesn't really hurt us hitting this out as long as we're guarding this.
What do you like? We gotta make a decision. What do you like? If what's there, the other one? So I was looking at that with big weight, right? As far as this one's still gonna stick around though.
Yeah.
If you get that top blue really thin,
throw the
the top
outturn at
8
it.
one in button rock should be gone, but
What do you think?
He's still gonna have a shot for 2 if we guard, probably with the tap. So.
Which tap?
Well, he's gonna tap our guard into these blues.
Want to play this?
Yeah.
Okay, so want to hit it pretty much on the nose then?
Well, nose is, you gotta hit it high.
Yeah, so pretty much on the nose. Okay, shouldn't curl, eh? Throwing Blizz, eh?
Yeah.
A couple of options here for Dean Joanisse. He was looking at the guard, but now he's going to throw a lot of weight and try and nose that blue stone and maybe double or even try and clip the one that's on the button as well. Feels like he can't hurt himself here.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Yes! Yes!
Okay, that's fine.
Bit of an overcurl.
I think it was a pretty tough shot, Will. I'm not sure.
Well, he was saying nose, but it was a
little
little higher side.
Yeah.
I think he had the right idea to hit it on the nose, but it was definitely a little high side.
And it did look like he hit it a little high side, but it caught the back one rather than the one on the button. So I'm just not sure now if for Jason Montgomery, is there a shot there for 2? Can he tap that blue
Try
one?
the intern at it and try and throw it straight.
Yeah, if you come with it at the out turn, it will actually push the rock the wrong direction almost because the red one's in the way.
This? You think it's there with the out turn? Well, I think it's spinner with the intern, yeah.
The reason they want to throw the spinner is because they just have to hit it on one side or the other, and unfortunately just there's not a big port there, so they're trying to keep it as straight as possible.
I have no idea what it's going to do though. It's like yeah,
that's comforting. I don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
The other option is to take your one and run.
Play the out turn.
You just don't want any more than like back 4
Well, it's just,
I almost think you throw about a back 8 or back 12 on this, because if you hit it right on the nose, you might be able just to bounce off that rock, that red and the top red, and roll into the forefoot. So
I kind of agree.
What did I just throw?
There's a little bit of space there between those 2 rocks in the forefoot area, and you might just get lucky enough to push the red one enough out.
it would be pretty hard to ever hurt yourself playing this.
I think so. So back 4, back 8. He's going to throw a lot of spin on it.
Yep.
Keep it as straight as possible.
Hard.
I could have thrown a 5 rotation down.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Over curling. Yeah, that was a really, really hard shot. Good try by Jason. So 1 on the board for Jason Montgomery. Here in the 4th end, he takes a 2-1 lead and relinquishes hammer back to Dean Joanisse heading into 5. This is the 2018 belairdirect BC Men's 3-4 game. We'll be right back.
Curling, the game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
just looking back here at the tap attempt here from Jason. A little bit high side, didn't quite get it. Second chance here for 2 points. And a little bit of an overcurl on that one.
And such a difficult shot, Will?
Was a tough shot. So
One of the situations, though, you want to make sure you get your one. You can take your one and run, or try a really difficult shot like that for two. And he was really close. It just overcurled by a couple of inches. Not sure where to put the broom on that. So, important thing is he got his point, got on the scoreboard, 2-1 for Jason Montgomery.
Nice corner guard from John Cullen.
Whoa, whoa. Line's good.
So Will Duggan threw his first one, top 8, center line, and now trying to cap it, but it looks like it's coming in a bit tight. It's a good shot.
You get there though, eh? You just bump that guy really good. Yeah. Just do this.
I was thinking roll the other way.
No, I'd rather spread ours out.
Okay.
Let's just do this.
Yeah.
Just looking for a corner freeze here. Considered playing a split there, but elected just
Mine's
for the
pretty
freeze.
good.
Might have to.
The other option too
Mine's
maybe
good.
was to, as they were
Mine's
talking about,
good.
either bump and roll to a corner, but they could also come around their corner guard as well and force Team Montgomery to have to go peel it.
Hard, really hard line.
Hard pull, you got it! Hard pull, you got it! Go!
Just a couple feet light for John Cullen. Just over curled on him.
So Jason just asking for a tap here from Miles Craig.
Yep.
Jason could have maybe gone up and peeled the corner guard as well. That was another option.
Hard. Yep. Hard. All the way. Yep. Hard.
This one's over curling as well. Miles has had a couple of overcurls so far this game. Just not sure that maybe Jason's either not being generous enough for the ice or he's just not quite getting positive to the broom.
Mine's good. 8.
Yep. Line only, small pass.
9. Go on the road. We just want a 6 off it. Yeah, Is it coming in? Pumping.
We can go behind if you need.
Yep. Hard. No, it's in front of it.
Take a roll.
Just let it sit. Okay.
All right.
Bit of an in-betweener shot. They were looking for the corner freeze to the one that's on the right-hand side of the center, and unfortunately just called it a little bit late, tipped and rolled. So wide open now for Team Montgomery.
Well. You got enough for Hack to get that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, Hack.
So opportunity here for a hit and roll. Even though there's 3 blue rocks in the rings, this is actually setting up for Team Joanisse.
Hack weight here by Jay Wakefield. If he can just cross the nose of it, you get a flop in behind the guard.
Hard! Real hard! Hard! Real hard! Hard!
You know, in the first draw, Melissa, that's the same spot we saw some overcurls in that first end.
I agree,
Jeff's
yeah.
shot, actually. And,
That's exactly right. That's where Jeff hit that guard as well. So unfortunate miss there for Jay Wakefield. Puts Team Joanisse into a little bit of a jam here early in this end. So great brushing by the guys, but it just over curled. The good news is it did roll behind those two guards, but kind of lined up as well.
You don't like a high guard on our top one?
High guard this?
Yeah.
You don't think he'll just throw a hack and do this?
Well, yeah, like I'm worried about him.
I think if you're going to throw a guard here, you want it to be somewhere that you might be able to use it.
I agree.
Yeah, well, you could guard it here.
Yeah.
That's third shot, so.
Okay. Well, if you want to hit those guards, I like that.
I think you just like do this. Well, actually, it's probably more like this.
You have to be careful here, Will, with the drag effect. Depending on what side you
All
hit
the hair
those
on the
two
outside.
rocks, it'll drive that red one back, and you don't really want to hit the one in the button. So I'm not sure what side he's looking to hit this on. I think he'd want to hit on the center line side.
Yep.
Yep. Hey.
Cross him. Sit and roll just him. Okay.
So Cam really opens things up with
Leg
this
in,
shot.
turn to me. Turn. Still doesn't look like much.
I think they were hoping to hit it maybe more on the center line side, so they tried to avoid the one that was on the button. So
For sure, opportunity here for Joanisse to.
For sure.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah. They're like this. Okay. So where do you like for that? Here? Yeah, I can just him.
Great opportunity here for Paul Cheka to get a hit and roll.
Easy. 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 Clean. Yep. All right. Whoa, 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 nothing. Really good.
Fabulous shots. That changes the complexity of this end.
Turn to events in
One
those
shot.
two shots.
You got any of that?
Nice call by Dean. Nice sweeping. An absolutely perfect hit and roll.
Edge on edge, or what are you looking at?
That helps Team Joanisse out a whole lot. They were in a bit of trouble earlier, but now in a great position.
You want to try and pick it? It's either that or the run, but.
I think I like the run better.
Feel.
So you could probably see maybe less than half of that red stone. So they talked about the pick. The pick or the run back. I'm not sure which one's harder.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
It's like a straight peel.
Rolls for a center guard. Dean can keep this rock in the top 8 foot. It's in a really good place.
I like that better at the start, but up to you. Yep, I like that. Top 4. Moves here, right? Line's good.
Paul Cheka trying to sit
Make
two
sure.
behind the guard here.
Line's perfect. Line's perfect. Got room. Room. Room.
He's all there.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Really good. Very nice.
Nice shot. Jason Montgomery without hammer here in the 5th end. Looks like he's decided to throw the out-turn draw. Try and minimize some of the damage here. Team Joanisse line 2, completely buried. He could throw the in-turn draw and follow him, Will, and actually freeze to it. The one that was just thrown by Paul Cheka.
I'm wondering if he knows this path or. That checker rock did come a little deep almost behind the tee line, so chance here to really shrink the scoring area.
Line's good.
Don't want it.
No, there. Stay close for line.
All there.
Got room.
Oh.
You're listening to Miles call back four.
Back 4.
Don't want to be back
Just
four
wait.
here.
Line's perfect.
Line's perfect. That's right here. Nice line.
Wow.
Great shot.
What a shot.
A little higher would have been nice, but a nice shot nonetheless.
Yeah, another foot higher for sure. Dean can just follow him down and even tap it back a little bit. And sit 2 completely buried above the tee line.
As you could see on that rock, when a rock doesn't need to be swept, it has handle, it really does curl.
Back 4, yeah.
On this ice.
So you heard Dean say back 4. He wants to, if you can just squeeze by the guard and just tap
So visually, I don't mind a little more, but okay. Hey, stay close to the line. Line's good.
It's good.
Gotta move the line, Jay.
It's like a left.
Jay's gotta move the line.
11.
So Jay's trying to make this curl now. The weight's a little heavy.
Stop in the rings.
I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe some miscommunication, Will, because I thought they said the weight was really good. But I guess he was looking for back 4, and maybe that was back 8, back 12.
I think they were thinking trying to tap that to sit 2 rather than just make the freeze.
So we watched this, a good throw, but it wasn't getting the line, and it was simply because it was more weight than I think was expected from everybody, and it just sails right by.
For sure. I mean, that's
I
5 feet more than Jason threw for his freeze that wasn't
sure.
swept. So.
That's an unfortunate miss for Dean Joanisse. Huge opportunity here for Jason Montgomery.
Yeah. I mean, straight on the loose, not bad. What'd you get on that? Yeah.
Easy. Room right now.
Easy. No. Just for weight. Whoa.
Line's good. You got room. Yeah, line's good. Right here. Lock it on. Line's really good. Go. Hard.
Wow.
Using my stopwatch where there's a little room for error, that was about a 15-30.
That was so well thrown. Like he threw it right to his sweepers, let them do all the work. He would throw it close and let them manage it. It was a fantastic shot. Dean just throwing his first one just not to his sweepers. And that was the difference here.
Just over half of the button.
This has clearly got risk to it. But if we play that one onto this, we got a better angle. That's still.
Right on the belairdirect scores you a point.
And he knows the path. He just threw it. Just needs a little bit less weight, obviously. And down 1 here in 5. You don't want to take too big of a risk, I don't think. I think this is a good call.
Same speed here, eh?
It's been an entertaining game so far, Melissa. Lots of rocks in play.
You gotta just go right.
Angles
Tickle
looking.
them a little bit.
Yeah, both teams just going after each other.
Here, last.
So Dean Joanisse looking to draw to the pin for for a single point here in 5.
It's there right now.
Easy line. Lot of room. Ton of room. It is not curling at all. You want to shave this?
John and Jay are saying the weight is there.
14:30 on the hog-to-hog time.
Whoa.
So again, just a little bit too much weight. Didn't get the curl that he was looking for. So it's a steal of 2.
2 great draws from Jason Montgomery. Gets a skip steal there.
Yeah, steal of 2 after 5. We have a 4-1 score. We'll be back right after this.
The game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
We're here with the leading skip, Jason Montgomery. We're going to have to pan up a little bit because you are 6'7". Are you pretty proud of your team right now for the performance they've put on so far?
Yeah, it's been a real good first 5 ends for us. Started with a hammer and got forced to 1, but definitely kept the momentum on our side, and the 5th end is big steal of 2, so good start, yeah.
Amazing last shot, and you're definitely keeping, well, Team Joanisse is also keeping you guys on your toes. This is pretty equal right now. What do you have to do to win this match here?
I mean, basically we just got to, do what we do best, and that's to set up the angles in our favor. We generally do better with rocks in play, so we'll probably see some more rocks out there in the next 5 ends.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and good luck to you in the rest of the game. We're going to go to a quick break before checking back in with Melissa and Will.
I learned to curl when I was 13. I remember how excited I was to go to the club. It always felt special. Because of the game, because it was a place where it didn't matter your age or background. I've visited clubs right across this country, in small towns and in big. It's always the same feeling. The feeling that you're at the heart of a community. Because a curling club is a community. A community of millions of Canadians from coast to coast to coast, where thousands of children get their start, where veterans, Olympians, Paralympians, and youth battle for glory, 1 weekend at a time, where local really means down the street and around the bend. And the positive effect on Canada is not only economic, but social and cultural. Curling always felt special to me, because it is special.
In 1,000 curling clubs across this country, curling invites Canadians to connect and inspires communities to grow. Pride, community, growth. Let's grow together.
When I grow up, I want to be a superhero. I want to be a firefighter. I want to graduate university. I don't know what I want to be. I want to be an archaeologist. I want to be a scientist. Pilot, coach, carpenter. I'm going to be a curling champion.
Kids dream big. Your support will help them realize their dreams on and off the ice.
Welcome back to the 2018 belairdirect 3-4 game. Let's have a quick look at the highlights from the first 5 ends of play. First end, great shot by Jason Montgomery to freeze and get his single point against 2 counters.
Great double from Cam DeJong there, hoping to get the force to 1 there, but a nice double from Dean resulted in a blank end.
And another great double by Dean Joanisse.
Now the third end here.
And the boys drag this one from pillar to post to get the point against 2 counters of Jason Montgomery's.
Fourth end, Jason with a tap for 2 here. Just overcurled a little, still got the point. And the fifth end here, Jason Montgomery showing he's got draw weight, putting it there, 15 seconds, 15 and a half to the top 4 foot on both of those.
What a great first 5 ends, and I think the difference right now is the draw weight, Will.
Absolutely, absolutely. You saw there, if Dean can find that draw weight here in the second half of this game, Jason's more than willing to put rocks in play here in the second half, as he said, and we should see lots of offense.
So we'll see what happens here in the 6th end. Jason Montgomery with a steal of 2 in 5 starts us off. Will Duggan.
As a commentator of this game, I was kind of excited to hear Jason say he was planning to have more rocks in play in the second half of this game with the lead.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have a lead, a 3-point lead, you decide to play a little bit defensive, but he's very clear in his game plan that rocks in play work for them.
That's been his style forever. Jason loves to curl.
Yeah, there's a couple times there I was wondering if some peels should have taken place, but, you know, I'm not the one out there. Jason knows what he's doing, and he loves playing with rocks. Great start for Team Montgomery. So again, going back to the difference right now, Will, is that Jason Montgomery putting both stones in that 5th end right on the button, and Dean Joanisse heavy on his first, heavy on his second.
I'd like it tight. Mine's fine. Might over curl. No, mine's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Through 5 ends of play, John Cullum is curling 85%.
Line looks really good. Do it. Got room. Got room. Don't mind apologizing.
And John's really had a solid week, top among leads, curling 89% for the week.
We just can't thank enough Mike West and Shelley Roy for providing us with the stats this entire week. It's been just awesome.
I gotta get run.
Yeah, it's a great crew of people here getting this done, and it's really a top-notch event here in Parksville. Miles Craig, the second, curling 68%. Hitting well, though, at 92. Its draws have been the struggle at 57%, as we've seen on a few of those today. But no mistake there made on the big weight shot from Miles Craig.
We have a technical timeout, I believe, by Team Joanisse.
So what happened? Yeah, like it was.
So both clocks will stop, and the chief umpire or the umpire will come out and have a conversation.
That's all the momentum is. Like right here. I couldn't see it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a nice thing about this game, and the players can come to that conclusion on their own. Officials are there if we need them, but it's great to have the players come to those conclusions on their own.
Yeah, it sounds like Will Duggan maybe just kicked the rock as it was going by, so just quick conversation there, puts the rock back where they think it would have stopped.
I got room. Do you want to come here? It's too much effort.
Looking for the corner guard. There was some chatter that it might be a little bit heavy, and we're wondering if to bring it into the rings, but it does stop.
I don't know if they're going to drag it that far, Melissa.
No, I agree. So peel attempt here by Miles Craig. Those first 5 ends, I didn't think I'd be saying peel for Team Montgomery, and we have a flash.
So a little full there. Jason talked about having some rocks in play potentially, but because there was 2 corner guards up, he was sort of forced to play peels without a center guard up.
Good. Line's good. Group. Yeah, hard.
So with that miss by Miles Craig, opportunity here for Jay Wakefield to get one buried behind the guard. He just threw.
We're by.
Shot, Jay.
Nice shot.
Jay Wakefield curling 70% through 5 ends of play.
Yep. Gotta go.
Tried to get the run back double, just missed it, but managed to roll their shooter into the rings.
T-line, top T-line, the deepest. Okay. Good guard ours too, but good.
So not wanting to leave a double, Dean saying that draw has to be in front of the T line.
If we can get this one in here and make something happen, they want to chase that, we might get it spread out. Yeah.
One thing about Dean Joanisse is always planning ahead and thinking ahead about what he thinks the opposition might do. Key here obviously is to try and get a deuce here in 6th end. Really important to score. Boys aren't even touching this one. I think Paul might have overcooked it. That's a huge, huge mistake by Paul Cheka. Not even close.
So Jason's going to want to hit. It'd be nice for him to stay around the center line here, hitting right on the nose, maybe rolling a little bit.
Easy. Joseph. Whoa, I don't really want to roll.
Let's do this. Yeah, so do the same shot too. Turn do you want? In turn, Brian. Or out, it doesn't matter. Chill.
Paul Cheka curling 90% through 5 ends. Obviously that throw through will have a little impact on that, but solid game so far for Paul Cheka.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic miss by Paul. Hoping his hit and stick there in front of that blue stone rose a little too far.
Pretty effective shot, though. He should have an opportunity. Dean should have an opportunity in the next one now to go around those 2 blue rocks on the wings there.
Yeah, Jason Montgomery is going to try and hit and roll towards the center. It will be behind the T line.
I'd like to roll to the middle, I think. Yeah. But I want to make sure out here. I'm not sure how fresh that is.
Sounds like he's going to keep the weight up here in a fresh spot. Jason Montgomery curling 80% through 5 ends of play. 88% on hits.
Easy. Oh.
Job number 1 is done. Remove the stone from play. We would love to have stuck his shooter or rolled towards the center, but most important job done. Does give Dean an opportunity, as you say, to draw around those staggered guards, staggered ones in top 12. Looking for a skipper's deuce here.
Yeah, it took some persistence, but they're getting their chance to go around a corner guard here this end. So.
Exactly.
Either or.
Dean's going to be wanting to redeem himself from those last 2 draws in the last end.
Yep. We're 9. Hard! Whoa! All right. Great shot, Dean. Good shot, Dean.
Good shot.
So a little deeper than they would have liked, but a good shot.
Good weight call by the front end for sure, just letting Paul know that it was a little deep, but most importantly needed to get by the guard. Unfortunately, by it slipping behind the tee line there, it does give Jason the opportunity to freeze to it and try and take this deuce opportunity away from Dean Joanisse.
Are you trying to move it at all, or just? Not really, no. We have to move it pretty far to make it matter.
As soon as you start trying to move that rock, Melissa, your shooter's going to travel a lot straighter.
I agree. Just freeze to it. Don't even put that in his head.
Yeah, you can go.
You got room.
Whoa.
No,
go to curl.
You got no line yet.
Got to curl a lot.
This one has a lot more line than Dean's did.
Sounds like Miles will be on the inside here at the end.
Line's pretty good.
Hard. Hard. Go.
Actually underswept that one. Not sure if you can see all of it.
Yeah.
I think you can. They carry that another 2 feet.
Not terribly different ice, really.
They lock it on and take the deuce away from Dean Joanisse.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds like they were waiting for line, and it was just.
But I'm not throwing that much more weight.
The end waited long. They had to wait so long. They didn't quite have enough carry there at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
A little bit of a sweeping error there.
I'll be a little more positive, though, eh?
Yeah.
So good opportunity here for Dean to get his deuce. Just wants to get to the nose of the stone just thrown by Jason.
More. Don't see it yet. More. There you go. Yeah, back line.
Backline weight.
John's just trying to help this one curl a little bit.
He took that little extra ice and didn't quite get to the nose of it, but it is a single on the board for Team Joanisse. 4-2, 2018 Bel Air, 3-4 game. We will be back.
And welcome back to the 2018 belairdirect BC Men's Championships. A nice draw from Dean Joanisse there on his first rock, just to the back 8 foot. This gave Monty a chance to freeze. Came up a little bit light, so the small tap for Dean here, and it just didn't quite get the curl he was expecting. Still scoring a point though, 2 down without hammer, playing the 7th end.
And I think Dean threw the perfect weight he was looking for. He was looking for back line, but he kept asking for that little bit more ice, and unfortunately for him, it didn't curl enough, and he jammed it and just got his single.
So Team Montgomery is going to go around that high center guard that John Cullen just threw there. Looked like Jason was asking for this to be in the top 12 to top 8 foot from Duggan.
Just for weight, Top 8.
So I'd like to announce the winner of the Curl BC member draw. This is courtesy of our car and home insurance partner, belairdirect. It's the winner gets the tickets to a hockey game, a Vancouver Canucks game against Boston on February 17th, and the winner is Julia Ann Sawyer.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Julia Ann.
Similar line, maybe a little more room. Let's get a nice forward of this. Switch. Hard. 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 Right over. Right over.
Two nice guards by John Cullen.
Nice chance for Will to throw the same shot twice in a row here.
Room right now. Oh. Back 8.
Back 8 is way too much weight.
Probably be happy to have this one go through the rings.
Yeah, they don't want to leave it there, that's for sure. Little mistake there from Will Duggan.
Just sit on it, I guess, eh? Yeah, well, it's risky though, right? Well, no, I don't mind that. T-line,
You can see the time clocks on the right-hand side there, Will. 13 minutes left for Dean Joanisse and 12.5 minutes for Jason Montgomery's team. You get 38 minutes starting time, thinking time, with 2 1-minute timeouts, but with all the rocks in play, you can see the time
Absolutely.
going down pretty quickly.
Yeah, both teams are okay, but they're going to have to be conscious of it for sure.
Lot of room.
So Jay Wakefield looking to freeze this stone right on the face of that blue Montgomery stone. And then Jason will have to make a decision whether to follow him down or to start peeling. He does have hammer here in the 7th, up 2 points.
The good news for Joanisse is there's no real easy double right now. I think you'll see a peel attempt here regardless.
Miles Craig did miss a peel in the previous end. Looking to redeem himself here. Nice shot.
Looks like you wanted the double there,
Yeah, he
Melissa.
did, yeah, you can tell.
I don't mind this, actually. That's not bad. That guard's right in the middle.
Whatever you like, Peter.
His other one was just over the hog line. Let's go here.
So with those 2 rocks staggered, Dean's going to treat them as guards and elect to go around them.
It's just on second stones. You could throw up another corner guard and have Jason Montgomery waste a few more stones on peels and then make this shot a little bit later, but they're worried about maybe the double peel and trying to get in there early. So looking to draw around those guards at the top of the house.
Yeah, we're just there.
It looks like he's a bit light, so plan B.
I think it's fine, but that's fine.
Probably better than what I called.
Shot, Dave.
What do you like? You want to try the double peel?
Sure. Yeah.
Across the face.
Throwing like same turn? Is that what you said?
Well, I mean like this, right?
Yeah, but I'm throwing the same turn?
Whatever you like.
Doesn't matter.
Sounds like a straight peel.
A little full on that out turn again, like the flash earlier.
I don't mind if we line these right up. Like if we go behind here.
Well, that just saves the blue, doesn't it?
That's fine though.
Miles being a lefty, I might have been getting his turns confused there.
No,
Well,
I
I
think
don't
you're
know. What
right.
do you wanna
Out
do?
turn.
Quick.
That was his out turn.
Oh, good.
We could do this. Try for a force. The guard.
I think there was a couple options there. We're first off trying to decide whether they're going to try and steal by drawing around all of those guards on the intern side. And they talked about perhaps the guard and also the hit and roll away and separate their stones and try and put the force on.
Yep, hard!
Really don't want these rocks too close together. Give Team Montgomery a double opportunity here. Thought I heard the word pick again, I'm not sure.
So Jason's just looking to kill those top 2 reds and roll out.
Yep. Real hard. Hard.
Cam's been tight a little bit on this intern a couple of times here.
Okay.
Makes the double, saves a shooter, which wasn't the plan, but does get both reds to go.
The calls to go around these 2 again, Melissa?
I think so. They're pretty close together, though. You have to be careful where you put this rock because you can drag and remove it quite quickly, quite easily.
So just switching there, needing a little bit of curl.
This one's way out there.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Just like Dean's draw a couple of ends ago, it seemed to hang a little bit before it made its break. Great weight.
I think you roll a hair in there. Yeah. So control.
The only scary thing with rolling under here is you're going to force a freeze out of Team Joanisse, and that scoring area is going to get very small. But if you roll away, I guess Dean's probably just throwing that draw again, is what Monty's thinking. Jason's thinking.
And I don't think that the hit and roll away is a bad thing, Will. As we've said, that those 2 rocks are so close together, you'd probably have a drag hit on it to remove wherever Dean decides to draw, but the hit and roll out definitely wasn't the option.
No.
So big mistake there by Cam.
I don't mind hitting it.
Okay, Tim, maybe fridge, or sorry, chill, yeah.
Like that, right?
Chill, yeah.
So Dean's making his way down quite quickly, as we pointed out. They have some time on the clocks, but time is of a little bit of a factor right now.
This should run real straight. Remember my other one?
Yeah.
We're crossing it, Andy. Less ice. Chill.
Just off nose is pretty good.
So the key here is where these 2 roll to.
Yeah, I
getting
want
some
to roll the
separation.
shooter behind. Less.
Nice control weight, trying to separate their 2 red stones.
Yep. Hard! Real hard! Hard, guys! Come on! Hard! Hard!
I'm not really sure what happened to that, Will. It completely over-curled.
Yes, eh?
He asked for a lot less ice, and the boys went on it right at the get-go.
I wasn't positive on what the weight call was, but that looked like a control or a...
It was chill.
Or a chill.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Wow, Dean is not going to be happy with that.
Like this? Like this?
So for Jason, he wants to make sure this is buried so he doesn't leave a double.
You also can't really go to the open side because Dean will just freeze to this one that's sitting back 4 foot. So pretty much the only option is to come in there and half bury maybe.
Well, he could hit the open one and give himself a pretty guaranteed force, but I think he may see an opportunity here. Because if he just hit that red, Dean would just be drawing for a point, I believe. Oh, sorry, there's a couple rocks to come here, though.
I think you got to go.
Where are you?
Got to go.
Got room.
Got to go. Okay, well then.
Hold on.
Sounds like the weight's pretty close. Love to get it half buried if they could.
Full 12.
Yeah, go hard.
It's going to be wide
hard.
open. pretty good shot. The double is there if Dean wants to take it on.
Bridge. Bridge.
Very good.
That's good there.
Yep. We're looking at
2/3.
2/3. Yeah.
We roll out with bridge.
No, that's what we're trying to stick with Fridge. That's where
yeah, but the double's way more important than sticking.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually. Yeah. I think you can stay with just Fridge.
Fridge?
Yeah.
Make it any less. More.
So Dean trying to double these two blue Montgomery stones and stick in the rings and put the force back on.
Go, 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 go.
Be a draw here for 2.
That one over curl, I think. Hey, Will? So Jason Montgomery making his way down to the hat, has an open draw for 2 here in the 7th end.
He's had draw weight on those precise ones all night, so it's the key here is keeping that on these open draws.
Definitely some frustration there for Dean and his team.
Where? Hold there.
Easy.
Easy, not curling.
This one doesn't look very light.
Curl it now.
14:40 on the hog-to-hog time, which is hot.
And will hang on, so that's 2 on the board for Team Montgomery. Big draw there, it was a little heavy.
Good eyes from Cam DeYoung there, telling the sweepers to keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it.
So 6-2 lead for Montgomery over Joanisse here at the BC belairdirect 3-4 game. We'll be back.
That has to be the most Canadian thing I've ever seen.
Well, maybe if he was also eating a poutine.
Whoa. And drinking maple syrup.
And he's also a curler.
Guys, you know I've never actually been curling before.
And you call yourself a Canadian?
I'm sorry.
There's more than 1,000 curling facilities in Canada. Be a good Canadian and find one near you today.
And we're back, just reviewing the 7th end here. A little over curl on Dean's there. Opportunity to sit 2 and hopefully get the force. This was the double attempt. It undercurled there a little bit. Not quite rolling the second one far enough, and Jason was a little heavy on the draw, but good eyes by the sweepers, managed to make sure that one stayed in the 8-foot.
So that's a huge 2 points on the board for Team Montgomery. Taking a commanding lead here, 6-2 after 7. Dean Joanisse is going to have to try and pull out all the stops here in 8.
Top ball.
Really, it's about a deuce here, unless you get it to 6-4 with 2 ends to go and hopefully go steal.
Exactly. Definitely have to take your chances, take some risks, but you also don't want to give up any. You can't give up any more points.
And I mean, other than the flash from Miles, this team has been peeling well today. This Montgomery team, and I would expect lots of that here in the last 3 ends of this game.
Are you freezing or where are you? Okay.
So Will Duggan throws his first 2, pretty much in the same spot. A couple corner guards going up here by John Cullen.
Jason might have liked those two to be a little bit higher and a little bit more towards the center line.
Good finish there by Dean, trying to even those out as much as possible. Another couple of inches, this double attempt wouldn't be there.
Yep. Yep.
So, opportunity for Joanisse, 2 corner guards.
Yeah, Miles really struggling this game. He hasn't thrown some very good peels at all. A flash and a nose.
Using open cookies right now. Line's all right. I got a bit of room.
It's good. 9.
Room.
That's full time.
Room. Paul's rock.
We're all there.
Line's not bad.
That's good.
Easy.
Weight's good.
Yep. Line's real good. Really losing handle. Weight's good. That's good. Oh boy.
Really good shot.
Really great shot. Nice shot by Jay. So another peel attempt here by Miles. Makes the double, but sticks a shooter.
Back button. What is that, Dean?
Back button.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You listen to how precise they are, Will. It's not just come around, it's where exactly they want it. They want it back button. He has a plan, he has an idea of where he wants it.
Back 4.
Good on the sweepers for asking for that precise point.
Absolutely.
Pull back 4.
It's really good to shrink the tolerance on these shots and be precise.
Exactly. Nice line. Good shot. 2 really good pair by Jay Wakefield.
You want to try this? Or
I don't mind that.
I think I like just hitting the one in the middle.
on the board?
Okay.
Swapping just to hit the rock on the button. Sit 3.
Oh, clean. Just clean.
You don't want to create a pocket if you can help it here for Team Joanisse. That's a really good shot.
You hit that red and roll behind the guard?
How do we get there, though? Intern straighter. Intern should be fine getting there. Just straighter. Yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bump or no?
If the line's good.
Okay.
So if we're a little tight on line.
So Dean's just asking for a freeze now.
There comes a point in time that you're going to have to move those blue stones. So this is third's first stone. You do have 4 rocks to come.
Stay on it. Stay on it for now. Yeah.
8, 7, 8.
Stay on it. We'll try to chip off. John. It's in the middle of it. Go good.
Yeah, you're right.
So do either of those reds leave very easily, Melissa?
I think you could perhaps pick the top one that's closest to center.
On this side it all goes.
Okay. Can you get there? I can get there, I think, with that pair.
It's a bit scary.
I guess it's scary if you nose it, eh?
It's really scary if you nose it.
No, I think it's there.
But if you hit too much of it as well, Will, I think it goes straight back onto the blue one. Doesn't look like there's a lot of room to maneuver there.
Are you throwing this?
I was thinking the other turn, but.
Yeah, well then you gotta hit it even thinner.
Okay, I'll throw that turn.
I'm not sure that this is there. I can't quite see the line straight down.
Deal. Throw it in.
So trying to hit about, what, half a rock here, Melissa? If you
Or
can?
less. He's throwing the intern at it, so he's trying to hit even less than half. That's a bit of a disaster.
Gets rid of the guard though, and there should be a double here in a moment, but
I'm actually just not 100% sure that that shot was there, Will. It was so tight to get by the guard and get enough of it to try the double that he was attempting.
You can still get rid of that other edge pretty easily if you put it there. This one, yeah, they might lose the room, which is fine.
You're right, like they
go
moved
around.
the guard
Okay.
away. They got rid of
This
two
one's
of the
not
blue
going anywhere,
ones.
likely.
if that got by, I'm thinking
yeah,
it was
about a
real
4.
close.
Okay.
So opportunity here for Team Joanisse to try and get a multiple point end here if they can keep this going. I think Team Montgomery will have a double here at some point.
Mine's good.
Okay to guard this. 1 red stone, I believe.
4. Mine's good.
Top 12.
4. Easy man. Oh, just grab.
Been hearing that a few times from the players today, the word grab. Rock's just grabbing a little. So Jason, with that one coming up light, just opting here now to hit and roll.
Was he trying to freeze that red stone?
He was freeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
One of the reasons, I mean, having lots of handle and having those brooms down all the time is key. But there have been the word grabs out there a few times today.
Yep.
So opportunity there for Team Joanisse. So he's pretty much giving it right back to Montgomery to try and get out of this.
Will, hard.
Trying to make it curl a little bit here.
Yeah. Didn't leave it in the best place. So Dean can play the double, and I think he can actually play the double and
This
maybe
came up
get
pretty
the
good,
roll, hey, behind the corner guard.
Yeah. His is about that way.
Yeah. 2/3, Dean.
Oh, chill.
It's a big shot for Dean Joanisse. He's had some struggles in the last end, over curling on a couple of his hits, so really great for him here to get a double and a roll. Nice control weight.
Yep. Whoa! Whoa! James.
Go Paul, go Paul, go Paul, go Paul, go Paul. Go Paul, go Paul. Really gotta go Paul.
So close.
He's just been on the wrong side of the inch with those doubles today.
Yeah, and that was just a missed call. They had him on for sweep, but they actually overswept it a little bit.
I think normal, take ahead. Yeah.
Really,
I'd like
really
to roll flat if
close.
we can.
Yeah, right.
I think normal.
So Jason Montgomery's elected to hit the
We are
open
second. I think we're heading in.
open stone, which is actually third shot, and is willing to concede a deuce to Dean Joanisse here in the 8th end. You don't want to attempt anything.
It's fully buried, that top red one.
Yeah, it's fully
so
buried. You don't want to attempt anything that would possibly give your opposition a 3.
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Hard.
So good roll from Jason. Going to make this draw a little bit more precise than it would have been if he had just nosed it.
Yeah, so Dean just having a look to see where he can find the best path to draw to the 8-foot, almost biting 4 for his second point.
Piece of 4, guys.
Yeah, more wouldn't hurt.
Just needs a piece of the 4. Last rock of the 8th end. Dean Joanisse.
We gotta go. Okay? Weight's close. It's out there again. No, we gotta go. Okay, go hard then.
Got it, curl. Line's good, line's good, line's good. Easy.
Line's fine, you're right here, guys. Look at line. Great job.
Nice draw.
Fabulous draw by Dean. And 2 on the board for him and his team to come within 2 points.
Mission accomplished for the 8th end here.
Exactly. 6-4 Team Montgomery over Team Joanisse. Don't go away. We have 2 to go.
Curling, the game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
And welcome back to the 2018 BC Men's Curling Championships. So that was Dean's first rock there. He just hit and rolled away, keeping his shooter in the rings, forced Monty to hit it. Which he does, rolling in there for second shot. This leaving Dean draw to the 4-foot for 2. Getting him back in this game with 2 ends to play, down 2 without hammer. Center guard was thrown on the first shot by John Cullen. It's just Will Duggan's attempt to come around it.
That one looks like it picked as well, lost its handle.
It was definitely heavy.
Will came heavy in the last end as well.
More room. Stage rock. 4.
It's a nice center guard there by John Cullen. And guard number 2, good placement. So I think Team Joanisse will probably has to pull out a lot of stops here to try and get a steal. They're down 2 without hammer, with 2 ends to go, so they definitely want to steal here.
Key for Montgomery in this Team Montgomery in this 9th end is going to be being precise on those basic shots, making those peel attempts the first time and right through all 8 ends of play here. 10 ends.
Another heavy rock. That is not where you want to put your stones.
Not
Those are 2 mistakes by Will Duggan. The last place you want to be when you have hammer is behind the tee line, behind the button. So opportunity knocking here for Team Joanisse.
Easy, just stop the button. It's not.
So really all 5 of these first rocks of this end are helping Team Joanisse so
Absolutely,
far. So
absolutely.
It's going to have to be some cleanup here from Miles Craig.
Yep. Hard. Hurry. Hard. Hard. Shooter. Shooter.
Nice shot there. Killed 2 of the reds and rolled off a little bit.
It's a pretty good shot by Miles. He's been struggling a little bit today, especially on his peels. He hit it just off nose. He could have hit it a little thinner, maybe got his shooter to roll more, but the important thing is he got both red ones to go.
Mine's good. Might need to move a little.
Our team percentages through 7 ends of play are Team Montgomery has a little bit of an edge at 76% to Team Joanisse's 73, but we are really tight.
You want to hit it into it or just peel? I think straight peel for now.
Another peel attempt here by Miles Craig.
No, no, no. Good.
Just gets enough of it, does the job. Looks like shot rock right now belongs to Team Montgomery, back on the right-hand side of the sheet there. Back button. Dean Joanisse showing patience here. Throwing up another center guard.
Similar liners, Jay. 4. 4. Just like it's over, curling.
Okay, wait till there. Just 3 now. Coming down a bit, just 3. Not 4. Good feet.
Just a single peel here again. Cam DeYoung.
Yep. Hard. Hurry. Hard. Shooter.
Won't be happy with that, leaving a center guard up.
Center guard removing one of his own stones. Not a good shot by Cam.
Or if we don't get the inside. Huh? Okay. T-line.
From our point of view, it looks like it's a good shot because it actually blocks the one, but that rock is back button and in a perfect position for Team Joanisse to try and freeze to it and really force Team Montgomery into a difficult situation.
A little bit early, Jay. Hard early for line. Hard for line.
9. 8.
Room. 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 Easy.
We're right to it.
John. Wolf can, just for weight. No bump.
It's there. It's there. Small bounce. Very nice beat.
Fabulous shot. Paul Cheka. Good communication all the way down. Superly managed stone.
Run the blue into the middle of them is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Big shot here from Cam, hoping to run this blue back into one of those reds.
Hurry. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard.
can't see where the shooter quite rolled to there, Melissa.
No, I can't quite see it either, but I think from the silence it was not a good shot by Cam.
Shooter stayed there for the center guards.
Yeah, center guard, 2 red stones, completely buried at this point. Really unfortunate shot by Cam. 2 bad ones here in the 9th end.
They're gonna be running it, so. We're just throwing a 2-3, aren't we, or 3?
Yeah, just halfway.
Great opportunity here for Dean Joanisse to put a lot of pressure on Jason with his last 2 stones here in 9.
Touch less.
Okay, Jay's rock. Jay's rock.
3. No, 2. Just 2.
Looks like a 3-4 to me.
Slots.
Oh.
3, 2.
Oh, mine's good.
3, 2, blue. Yeah, just past the blue.
Oh.
Just past that blue.
Little bounce.
Good. Good shot.
Good shot by Dean. Does the job.
So it looks like Monty's electing to run his rock into those 2 reds. The key here, though, is making sure you connect with one of them, because there will be that red guard up there afterwards if you don't. Protecting them.
Maybe just a hair more. Yeah.
Big shot here for Jason Montgomery. Needs to do some damage control right now. Just a bit of an oversweep, hey, Will?
Good shot, though. The steal of 2 is still on, but...
So they ran the blue and they just actually overswept it just a couple of feet and only get one of the rocks, red rocks, removed. Does open up that side of the sheet, though, however, if he does have to make his draw to the button for a single.
That's where we're looking to put our rock, right?
The other option, he could have run the red one in as well and maybe opened it up that way too, but it's nice to be able to run your own stone in.
Absolutely. Making contact with one of them there was the key.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks max.
Dean would like to make a great shot here and really put pressure on Jason for his last. He's had some struggles with draw weight thus far. Looking to put this in a really good spot.
56% on draws through 8 ends.
Yeah, so unlike Dean, those numbers are so uncharacteristic for him.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna give it to your brushers.
Mine's really good. He doesn't have to curl. It's all you guys. Who's in? Doesn't have to curl. Jay.
You want to keep it above the tee line here. Oh, fantastic. What a shot.
A little deeper than they would have liked. Nice shot.
I think it pretty much forces Jason, though, to have to make a cold draw to the button.
It does, yep. A little
fully
bit of backing.
buried, yep.
Bigger frame down here? Like 90 or?
Jason made those 2 great shots a couple of ends ago.
The steal of 2.
The
for
steal
his
of
draws,
2,
yeah.
yes.
It's been a while since he threw a draw.
Yeah,
though,
I think so. I was just thinking the same thing.
Line's good.
All you guys.
T-line.
No backing.
Not curling yet.
Not curling.
Not laying their brushes to this one very
curling
much at
now.
all.
Going now.
I think this is all theirs, right?
Great shot.
What a shot. That is a pressure shot by Jason Montgomery. Gets a single point against 2 counters that were fully buried.
He's been doing that all week, Melissa.
Goes up 7-4. We'll be right back for the 10th end of the BC belairdirect Championship.
Curling, the game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
And welcome back to the 2018 BC Men's. Jason Montgomery with that run back attempt there. Didn't quite go the way you wanted, but he did get one of them. Dean followed up with a great draw here to the tee line. But Jason made no mistake, and as he's been doing all week, made that last stone draw right to the button. So for Dean, it's about scoring 3 this end. Interestingly enough, he's opting to throw a center guard here. Seen this before out of Dean when he's down 3 with hammer. Some teams would throw 2 corner guards in this situation. It's just a preference.
Jason Montgomery, knowing that he doesn't obviously need any more points to win this game, throws both his first 2 through the rings, trying keeping as few rocks in play as possible. And Team Joanisse going to throw out all the stops here.
Got room.
Good.
Dean just trying to drag that one as far as he can, try and separate those stones. A little closer, I think, than they want, so
they're like
double peel here for Miles Craig.
Even the single peel here is fine.
Absolutely. Just get one of them for sure.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What a shot. He'll be happy with that after a couple of misses earlier in the game. So nice shot here in the 10th. Double peel. Yeah, for sure. Gets rid of his shooter to boot. Jay Wakefield looking for a guard.
John.
Is there anyone?
Give me the same thing.
Mission accomplished for Miles Craig. His job is done here and for his throws.
Team Joanisse needs a nose hit on one of these peels to hopefully generate some offense here. Shot there from Cam.
Go a little deeper, back house.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Let's put it around this logo. They might not be able to see it.
Here's the real nice.
So I think if should Team Montgomery go on to win this game, Melissa, it's been a really solid performance from them. And as Monty talked about and Jason talked about in the fifth end break, they're comfortable keeping rocks in play. And as we can see, when they started to play some peels, that is where we started to see some mistakes. So I think it might be worth them having a conversation about some of those peels that they missed this game as they go into tomorrow to look at that.
And that's a fantastic point, Will. It's exactly what happened. You know, we listened to Jason and the rocks in play, and Miles really struggling. I didn't see him play much this week, so I wasn't sure on how he was performing with his peels, but a couple misses early in the game did cause some problems for Team Montgomery, but they definitely made up for it now. But conversation needs to be had. What are you going to do if you go on to win this and have to play Team Giel in the morning tomorrow? So Team Joanisse needs to hide 3 stones somewhere in the rings. And Jason Montgomery needs to make one of them go away. Jason Montgomery just needs to make this rock go away, and he will book himself a spot into the semifinal tomorrow morning against Team Giel. And he makes no mistake. And there it is. A 7-4 victory for Jason Montgomery. We will be right back after this short break.
The game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it?
We are here with the winning skip. Congratulations
Nice.
to Team Montgomery. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, we feel good. It's a good game by the guys, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
Are you going to celebrate, or are you going to go home and get a good night's sleep?
We'll probably do a little quick celebration, but I think we play in the morning tomorrow, so we got to get a good night's sleep and be ready to go in the morning.
You certainly do. You're going to play live at 11 a.m. and we'll be broadcasting that on Shaw TV once again. You're going to be playing Team Giel. Do you need to be prepared for anything? What do you think they're going to bring to the ice tomorrow?
You know, we've played Gil lots of times over the years, so I know what to expect from him. I've played with him in a provincial before, so should be a good game. Probably quite a few rocks in play, and hopefully we play well.
Wonderful. Well, all the best of luck for you tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning, okay?
Okay, thanks.
And let's go check back in with Will and Melissa.
What an exciting last half of the game, Will. Some great shots by Team Joanisse. They really tried to get it going, but a miss there in 6 only gave them that single point.
7th end here. Dean attempting the double and just on the wrong side of the inch today, not rolling that one quite far enough, leaving a draw for 2.
And this was the draw for 2. No mistake for Jason Montgomery. Big deuce.
Great draw from Dean here to get his 2 and get his team back into the game. 2 down, playing 9.
And I tell you, this is the shot I think that clinched it for him. Facing 2, he draws to the button. Jason Montgomery with no mistake.
The skipper had his team back on that one, that's for sure. They had a few misses that end.
And I tell you, Jason Montgomery, what a performance today.
He was awesome. The whole team played well, but Jason was particularly good when he had to pick up his teammates a little bit in the last half of that game.
He sure did, and you know, we saw Miles struggle a little bit with his peels, as we mentioned just before the end of the game there, that they're just going to have to talk about it. But we heard Jason. They're ready to throw rocks and play again against Team Gil for tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock in the semifinal game.
Absolutely, and as long as this team's playing offense, I like what they're doing.
I do too, so we'll expect to see them tomorrow. We'll throw back to Emily.
Thanks so much, guys, and it was an amazing game and a great game played by Jason Montgomery, who earned himself a spot for tomorrow. What a full day of curling we've had here. It's been a wonderful time in Parksville, British Columbia, and we're going to bring you more live coverage tomorrow. The semifinal game kicks off at 11 a.m., and that's Gil versus Montgomery, and the winner of that game will then go on to the finals, and they're going to play Cotter, and we're going to find out who's going to be the crowning champion here in BC that will go on to the national game. You can find all of this coverage live tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. on your Shaw TV local cable channel, or of course live on YouTube anywhere in the world. Have a great night's rest, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow in Parksville, British Columbia at 11 a.m.